Hey, Shalom, Sister Kate here. The fall of Kabul, the fall of Afghanistan, it's one of the biggest moments in our recent history worldwide. And I've been waiting to do a video because I have many thoughts on it, but I didn't want to just rush into something. I wanted to make sure I give it some thought. And there's one thing y'all need to know that you probably don't know about this whole episode. Because online, you're going to hear a lot of criticism of our military and our intelligence services. Now, I'm going to talk just about the military part because it's a separate issue in my mind. Because so many people are ignorant of how our military works. Just ignorant, meaning you have no clue. You watch movies and you think you know our military from those movies. And the people who make the movies don't know anything about our military, and so it's just a bunch of disinformation that gets passed around in the common knowledge, and it's wrong. Our military is the number one military in the world. It is better, far better than any other military. And our competitors, the only way they are our competitors is because they steal stuff from us and they copy it. Like when our helicopters are downed in Africa and then we leave the body of the helicopter there, the Soviets and the Chinese clamber all over it and take it apart piece by piece so they can reverse engineer and figure out how to make better helicopters. And that's just the plain truth, plain fact. Our military just lost to a medieval country. Afghanistan is a fourth world country. It is, I mean, just study it for yourself. They are really technologically back in the Middle Ages. And yet, they defeated the number one military in the world. So, yes, that's an epic failure on our military's fault. But our military does not make any of its own decisions on how many troops go, on what the plans are for what they're going to do when they get to where they're going, how they do things, when they do things, who does these things. None of that is in the exclusive hands of the military. Our Congress makes all those decisions, and our commander-in-chief. No matter what brilliant plan our generals come up with, no matter what brave soldiers we send over there to fight, no matter the technological advancements of our military weaponry, our Congress decides how our military acts. Our military is not its own separate part of our government that decides to do things on its own. It is the military arm of our government. And so our government wields our military for its political purposes. And when the people that we elect into office, into Congress and the Senate and the presidency, don't know anything about their own military and have their own political gains that they're trying to do, and they don't care and don't know about the military, then they use their military arm badly. And that is the failure that you have just seen. That is the number one thing you need to know about our military. That our military has been failed yet again by our Congress, by our elected officials, by our commander-in-chief and commanders-in-chief. And that's why you've been seeing our military fail for 50 years. Why you see Vietnam is a loss, and we do stupid little incursions into places like oh gosh, now I can't remember that part of the country over there by Poland. Into Eastern Europe, when we get involved in these little disputes and we're not using our military power as we should, and we have things like Benghazi happen when our elected officials don't use the military effectively, and so our soldiers get killed. The death of every soldier in the last 50 years is on the heads of the Congress people and the senators and the president. That's who keeps failing our military. And that's why our military keeps failing in the world, because they are used wrongly, not well enough. They are used to play these political games, and it's not a game. People's lives are at stake when you send your military out. They are going to war. So Pastor and I have been alive longer than the 20 years that this war has been going on. And when we sent people into Afghanistan, we both shook our heads and said, that's going to end badly. That's going to end badly, because we knew. If you look at the history of Afghanistan and the kind of fighters they are, for the longest time, they made their own rifles. They just made them, based on muskets when the British came through. And then as they get into battles with other people, and they capture, an upgraded rifle, they upgrade them, and now they have the best rifles in the world. They've just been given hundreds and thousands, maybe millions of them in this failed war. So the failure is not on our military. The failure is on our elected officials and our president. And that falls back on us because we elected them. Think about that. All right. Bless you. Shalom.